welcome to the very first CIPR President Live. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Advita Patel, and I am the CIPR's 2025 President. So this is the first time we are doing something like this, and I am really excited to get stuck into a 30-minute show format, which means that there's opportunity for you to ask questions. That if you're watching us, we're live streaming right now on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and on YouTube as well. So some of you may be watching this back on replay, which is what we wanted. So we wanted to make sure that you have access to this information as and when you needed it. So please do, if you're joining us live, then please do share in the comments where you're from and where you're tuning in from as well, and get to know each other as well. This is one of the reasons we're doing it this way. I have got a jam-packed 30 minutes for you, and we're going to go through various different updates, introduce you to some guests that are coming on live today as well. We're going to be doing some celebration and recognition and some key facts that you may not know about CIPR and some of the membership benefits that you might have. But please, throughout this session, please do pop your questions in the comment box and we'll answer them throughout the 30 minutes as well. So before I introduce our first guest, I have a few updates I want to share with you. First of all is about the CIPR strategy, which launched earlier this month, the 2025 to 2029 strategy. Hopefully you've seen it and you've had a chance to have a read through. But if not, I'm going to give you a very brief summary about the strategy right now. So there's 4 key priorities this year, for the next 5 years, I should say. Chartership and lifelong learning. So this is about making sure that we continue our journey in becoming this predominantly chartered profession and increase the presence and influence of PR professionals on boards. Now, this is a very important part. Chartership is unique to the Chartered Institute of Public Relations. It's something that we are very passionate about. We want to make sure that we increase engagement with continuing professional development. We want to make sure that we're developing membership packages to make chartership more accessible. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later on. We want to drive that recognition and demonstrate the importance of chartership and why it adds value to your career and progression as well, and collaborate with other associations to try and position chartership and the practice and what it can bring to your career alongside other chartered professionals as well. One of the second priorities is leading practice development. Now, leading practice development is making sure that we're supporting our members to adapt and evolve. So we want to make sure that you have the competitive advantage by increasing your knowledge and understanding, especially artificial intelligence within public relations, and supporting our professionals to adopt AI effectively and ethically. So we're going to try and maintain our position as a leading global AI training provider, equip you, our members, as well to lead and sustain diverse teams and serve diverse audience through AI, and making sure that we're using it as properly as we possibly can. Sorry, my mind went completely blank then. The third area we're going to be looking at is advocacy. And advocacy is about making sure that PR is valued and understood. So we want to make sure that we're the voice of PR, we're speaking to the government and other professions, we're promoting the value of professional PR work, and we are ensuring that our members are seen on par with other professionals. So we'll be continuing with our Lobbying for Good campaign. We'll be making sure that we supported the Global Alliance in the responsible communication, which is the 18th sustainable goal. And then finally, our key priority is diverse and collaborative communities. Those of you who have looked at my priorities will know this is something that I really care about and I'm very passionate about. We're serious about creating an equitable PR profession. We're one of the very few institutions that has received the National Equity Standard, which is incredible. And we're hoping to maintain this in the years going forward. We want to standardize our membership experience, making sure that it doesn't matter what region you join as a member or what country you join from, you have a very standard experience and realize and recognize the benefits of being a member as well. We're going to be reviewing our accessibility to some of the CPD that's available and making sure that we are at the head of the curve when it comes to training and development. So we've got a short video that you can also watch on there where me, Alistair, who's the CEO of CIPR, and Bazana Badul, who is the CIPR President-elect, we talk a little bit more about these priorities as well. But if you've got any questions, then please do pop them in the comment box. The second update is council elections. So some of you hopefully would have received an email, if you remember, on casting your vote for the council. Now, it's really important, and I can't stress this enough, the energy and time it takes to apply for some of these positions, it takes a lot, especially from a volunteer perspective. So as members, we owe it to these wonderful candidates to take a little bit of time and read their nomination and vote for the folks that we want to represent us in council. We've got 22 spots available, and the nominations that some of these wonderful people have written are fantastic. So please do take some time and read those nominations and cast your vote. You have until 7th of February to make sure that you get your vote. If you haven't received your nomination, then please email CIPR HQ and they'll make sure that they sort that out for you. And tomorrow, the CIPR Excellence Awards are opening, which is a highlight of my year. It's such a great opportunity to recognise some fantastic professionals out there. So please do take a look at that. Make sure that you put yourself forward for one of the categories. It's a really important part to recognise some of the great work you're adding and doing for your organisation or for your clients. And everyone deserves some brilliant recognition. So without further ado, I want to introduce our first guest, Dame Maria Miller. So Dame Maria Miller is a highly experienced professional in the field of communications, government, diversity, advocacy, and it's bringing more than 20 years of experience in advertising, marketing, and public relations, coupled with 19 years experience in the Member of Parliament, a government minister, and the Select Committee Chair. We went through an extensive recruitment process for our first independent chair for the Chartered Institute of Public Relations. It was really important that we did a thorough recruitment to get the right person in post. And Dame Maria Miller comes with significant experience and a wealth of expertise in communications as well. She was also most notably the Secretary of State for Culture, Media and Sport, and was announced, as you all know, as the first Institute's chair for CIPR. So welcome on stage. How are you?
I'm very well. Great to be on your first broadcast, Advita. But I'm on the road, so apologies for any background noise. But great to be able to join you. It's a great broadcast.
Thank you, Maria. And like as Maria said, we're getting together as a board tomorrow, and we're in Manchester. Hence why Maria is sitting in a cafe somewhere in the centre of Manchester. And if you are around, actually, if you're a member, a CIPR member based in the north and around the Manchester area, then please pop in this afternoon from 5 o'clock onwards at Juicy Street, where we're going to get together with some members and have a few drinks and things. So, Maria, I introduced you formally. And your job title and your incredible accolades that you've achieved over the last couple of decades. But who is Maria outside of the work context?
Well, Advita, it's always interesting, isn't it, when people ask you that question? My immediate reaction is to say I'm a working mum and I've got 3 kids, and then I have to remind myself that my youngest is now in his early 20s, just about to finish university. So like many people, actually transitioning into another stage of my life without kids needing me all the time. And it's great to be able to be joining the CIPR at this point. I mean, the other things that I get up to in my part-time, my free time, which lots of people who know me will recognize, is I've got an absolute passion for the arts, really going back to, way back when. I'm a board member of a theatre group, which is a great thing to do, and also have an enormous passion for dogs as well, 2 cockapoos. So yeah, that's a little bit of what I do in my downtime.
Thank you. Well, I love cockapoos. I really do. I wish I could have a dog at home, but just don't have sadly the time to look after it as well. Why did the role of chair appeal to you when you were looking at opportunities?
Well, when I got to meet the people and got to hear more about what CIPR is doing, it really struck me that it's an organisation of real ambition for the public relations industry, driving up standards with training, with chartership, and with the campaigns that are run as well. And that really appealed to me as a communications person. And I could see that I could bring to the job lots of experience in chairing organizations and lots of experience of the communications industry. So I hope it's a good match.
No, yeah, wonderful. And as I said, it was a very extensive recruitment process, and we were really wowed by the experiences that you were bringing to the table. What are you most looking forward to over the next year or so?
Well, Advita, all organizations are, they're good and powerful if they've got great people. So I know the people I've already met, I've been wowed by, and I'm looking forward to getting to know more of the membership and more getting to know the board members as well. It's really important that we work together, whether it's the membership, whether it's the council members, whether it's the board. And so for me, it's all about getting to know the people, because the people do make the organisation, and it's a people industry.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you with that statement. It is such a people industry, and it's so important for us to understand what our members want, which is why it was so important for us to do these types of live streams so we can see what folks want to hear, what they want to know about. And we've had a load of comments already come in. The wonderful John Wilkinson has actually shared where you can get access to the statements as well, the council statements I spoke about earlier. So please do check that out. So thank you, John, for sharing that as well. And it's nice to see such wonderful comments from people who are joining us live. We've got Miranda who's saying, loving the broadcast. Thank you, Miranda. It's the first time we're doing this, so feedback is welcomed as well on what you'd like to see. So before we end this conversation, Maria, and I know we've spoken about, the president and the chair working really closely together. We've been working together now for 28 days, and it's been an absolute pleasure and privilege so far. But what are your hopes and aspirations going forward for your role?
Well, Advita, I think we've got a fantastic opportunity this year, working together, working with the membership more broadly, to really take those strategic pillars that you were talking about earlier and really make sure that we're delivering as an organisation for our members. We are a membership organisation. Everything we do is for our membership. So making sure that we deliver our strategy, that we're doing everything that we can to continue to drive the aspiration of the public relations sector. I think it's going to be a great year ahead, and I look forward to meeting many of the people who are watching this live broadcast today, and working with you as well and the rest of the team, and encouraging people perhaps as well to consider what they can be doing as volunteers, maybe standing for the board themselves, because the more people in the sector that we can involve in CIPR, the stronger we are. So fantastic opportunities for people to develop their skills, and be planning for the future. So just some of the things that we'll be doing in the next 12 months, but really looking forward to working with you and the rest of the team.
Thank you so much. And again, we always say about membership, whether you're a volunteer or not a volunteer, is what you put in is what you get out ultimately. And it's really important we help you as a member, or even if you're considering being a member, about what is it that you want to achieve in your career and what direction you want to go in and what's missing for you. And anything like that we can support you with, it's really important that you share. But also, if there's anything in the comments that you want to kind of pop in, please do so. If you want to have a little bit of think about it, then you can email president@cipr.co.uk. And I personally look at all those emails and will respond back to those of you who email me. And if you have got any questions for Maria or myself as well outside of this broadcast, then please do use that email address to get in touch with us. But thank you so much for your time today, Maria. Like I said, I'm very excited to work with you. I'm excited to see what we can achieve together. And I'm looking forward to meeting, as you said, more members and hearing from them as well.
Brilliant. Great to see you.
Thank you. Take care. So before I bring on our next guest, I wanted to share with you a couple of other updates that you might be interested in, one of which is about our on-demand learning platform. Now, I'm really hopeful that many of you have had the opportunity to check out the on-demand learning platform because it's an incredible space with bite-sized learning modules on there. One of my priorities for 2025 was to do friction-free learning. And I'm fully aware that sometimes that in the roles that we play and the work that we do, time is a huge commodity for many of us. And not everybody can access full-day training or take time out to go to a conference and things like that. So we were really keen from a Chartered Institute of Public Relations perspective that we bring to you bite-sized modules, affordable modules that would allow you to learn at your pace and in your time. So the on-demand learning platform is something that's been produced and created by Sukhjit and his team. And they've recently just updated a load of different modules from crisis comms to diversity, equity and inclusion at a really affordable price. And some of the modules are also inclusive of your membership. So please do check out the on-demand learning platform. And if you don't know how to access it, then please pop it into the comments and we'll make sure you get the link that you need to do that. And that's a great member benefit. The other area that I wanted to speak briefly about was I had a conversation with a number of folks at the annual general meetings that I went along to and presented. A piece of feedback that came back was around certificates and no longer receiving hard copy certificates from CIPR if you became a fellow or if you were chartered. I've spoken to the team and the great news is that if you do want to receive a hard copy certificate, that is now available. So there'll be a link being shared with you as well on how you can do that. And in fact, I'll try and find it when I do the interview and I'll pop it on here for you in the little ticker banner. But if you are chartered or you are a fellow and you haven't received your certificate and you'd like a hard copy rather than having a virtual one, then you can just apply for one and the team will post it out to you over the next few weeks. Okay, time for our next guest, which is the wonderful Chris Tucker, who is part of the ESG committee. So I'm going to invite Chris onto the stage right now. Hello, Chris.
Hello, hi Advita. Congratulations on this new channel. It's working so well so far. Now you've got me.
We'll see when we see the feedback later, Chris. But thank you so much for joining us from what I hope is sunny Spain, because it's a very grey Manchester right now. But I was saying to Dame Maria Miller before she joined that I have no expectations of weather anymore in Manchester. But hopefully the sun is shining where you are.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Good. So we wanted to invite you on our live stream because there's been some very exciting developments in ESG committee right now, which I know is chaired by Susie Giles, who's sadly couldn't be with us today because she's literally on the other side of the world from us. But would you like to tell me a little bit more about the ESG panel and what's involved?
Yeah, sure. Well, we're getting on for almost 2.5 years old. The ESG panel was formed by a lot of us really coming together, thinking that this is an area that's obviously still very new to many PR professionals. It's kind of steeped in jargon. It's a very dynamic area. There's lots of new regulations and legislation coming in. And we thought, oh my goodness, there must be lots of people like us, trying to keep up with the pace of change in this area and being able to challenge our organizations and advise our organizations. So a lot of us have kind of come together. We're quite an amorphous panel, as it were. And really, we thought what we can do is share best practice, examples of how to do ESG and sustainability comms, and also publish various publications, guides, host events for example, as well, that can, help members of the CIPR understand this world a little bit better, because it is quite a challenging area and a very busy one as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. And it's such an important subject, actually. We can't even stress the importance of it, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now. And I know from the conversations I've had with PR professionals and communication professionals, some of the challenges facing them in the workplace, and understanding what direction they should be going in, and having that support from a panel that you support as well is critical. So I'm really excited to hear that you have got some events coming up and new guides being published as well, which will be accessible to our members, that they can access hopefully soon. We don't have a date for them yet, do we?
Yeah, very soon. The wonderful CIPR volunteer team are putting the final touches to the design of the 3 publications. I mean, interestingly, we published our first 3 publications. It was only about a year or so ago, yet we felt the need to update them already. So that, again, that's just a demonstration of how quickly this field is running. There will be 3 of them, one on the E, environment, one on the S, the social, and G on the government, which was the one I co-authored. And each of them really looks at trying to boost understanding among PR professionals, particularly trying to explain some of the jargon, trying to explain how some of these issues are actually run within organizations, which was particularly the aim of the governance one. I mean, some of these phrases we see bandied around all the time with regards to the environment and so on, but when we're pinned down to actually define them, it's not that easy. So the E guide is very much about the definitions that you will come across. The S is very much the social part of ESG that often gets forgotten. I know, obviously, you're a great champion for DEI, and in fact, we're hosting an event, aren't we, later on this year on the subject. But there are other aspects of the social side, like stakeholder engagement, for example, that are becoming very, very important as well. So hopefully those will be out. I would think probably about first or second week of February with the help of the design team. And then we've got some events coming up as well.
Have you got the dates of those? I'm sorry to put you on the spot, Chris.
Yeah, no problem at all. No, the first event is actually this Thursday, the 30th of January. There's details on our LinkedIn page, CIPR ESG panel. And that is an event where we will be looking at the changing regulatory framework, which is actually hitting us now. There will be lots more organisations having to report under the EU ESG standards than ever before, in fact, almost 5 times as many. So we're going to be bringing people up to speed with that. On March the 20th, we will be looking at new technology, particularly AI in ESG reporting. Something to remember that our ESG sustainability reports are being read by AI, so we've got to write for that audience, as well as how it can help us. And then on May the 19th, which is the event that you kindly agreed to speak at, we're doing jointly with the CIPR Crisis Comms Network that I'm also a co-chair of, where we'll be looking at DEI and the S, as it were, in ESG. So that's May the 19th. All details on our LinkedIn page.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Chris. And where can people get in touch with you or Susie or the panel if they've got any questions about what you shared?
On the LinkedIn page, you can get us through there. Do join up, become a member, contact us. We're going to up certainly the posting that we're doing there. But if anyone wants to find me on LinkedIn, Chris Tucker at PR and Media, do feel free to connect with me and drop me a message about any of our work, either from the crisis side or the ESG panel. Very happy to help.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Chris, for that update. And hopefully that's been really helpful. We've had a load of comments. I can't even keep up with them in the comment section. But if anybody does have any specific questions about what Chris has shared, then please do get in touch with her and Susie and the team as well. So how fast have the last 25 minutes gone? And we're leading us quite nicely into recognition and celebration. And this is something that I am so passionate about, because one thing that we are not very good at within our profession is our own celebration. We spend so much of our time recognizing and celebrating our clients and the communities that we support in our organization, but we don't take that time to reflect and celebrate our own wonderfulness as well. And that's something that we should embrace. And I know it's awkward for a lot of folks, so I'm going to do that for you. And one of the things that I want to share first is all these wonderful people who have been logging their Chartered Institute their continuing professional development points. So bear with me while I get their names on here. So well done to our top 10 loggers. And the top 3 is Vincenta Layden, who's already put in 244 points on the CPD system. Louise Gibson has got 234 points. And then Eswana Oparara is 200 points. I mean, that is absolutely fantastic. And they definitely deserve a round of applause for that. And then if you're kind of sitting there going, oh my goodness, I've hardly logged any points and I need to kind of crack on with it and I'm leaving everything last minute, then here are the top 5 CPD skills guides that you can access if you haven't seen it. So these are the most popular ones right now. So there's a CIPR webinar available, which is visual storytelling with Mark Egan. Definitely highly recommend that one. It's brilliant. The skills guide, Everyday Ethics in PR, which is this case study collection. The skills guides again, which is about ethics and the paid and earned media. There's an article on empathy, ethics, and expertise as well, which is about communicating suicide. And then CIPR skills guides on drafting a crisis comms plan as well. So those are some of the most popular ones. But if you go into our portal, there are many more in there. And don't forget that you can custom log your points as well. And you can count reading blogs, watching TED Talks, going along to events, going to a networking event. All of these are part of your continuing professional development. It doesn't need to be formal learning like training or things like that. It's anything that you learn from, you can custom log it as well. So don't forget that you can use that as well. Now, I said that I would speak a little bit about chartership because it's one of our unique offerings at CIPR as well. And I also want to take a moment to say well done to these latest chartered professionals, which we've all recognized on our LinkedIn over the last couple of weeks. And it's such an incredible achievement to go through chartership. And I went through it 6-7 years ago, and it's one of my best moments when I did chartership. And I recognize the confidence it's given me in my role and the work that I do. And even though we're still working towards getting it more recognized in the organizations and the clients that we support, that internal feeling of confidence is really important. And one of the things that we wanted to make sure is ensuring that the chartership is as accessible as it possibly can be. And you can save up to £200 when you come to your renewal, you can add chartership to that, and you can pay in installments as well. So if you're coming up to if you're a new member and you want to do chartership in a year's time or 6 months' time, then make sure that you ask the membership team, about how you can add chartership to your renewal or to your membership. And if you are an existing member and you're renewing your membership, then you can also add it on as well, and you can save up to £200 doing it that way. So do check that out, because that's really important. Now, I want to have time. We've got a few minutes left. I want to check for questions, any questions that have come in. Let me see. So, there's lots of people connecting with each other, which is amazing. So Lindsay has just put in the membership email address, so membership@cipr.co.uk. If you've got any specific questions about your membership, the team are wonderful and they will get back to you with any question that you have. If you want to how do you make use of your membership to the best of your, possible? If you've got any questions about how can you log your CPD, whether membership is worth it or not, that team will be able to help you as well. Then there's an event. Alison has just shared an event in Birmingham, which is about chartership. Alison, it would be great if you could maybe pop in the date of that event so folks know. But if not, then I'll make sure that I share it when I do a roundup on my LinkedIn later this week as well. What else? So we've got Elena who's saying lots of people well done to lots of people on getting chartered. Bridget has asked, where are we meeting for drinks tonight? We're going to be meeting at Great Juicy Street, which is a warehouse drink place next door to Piccadilly train station. So even if you're in the surrounding areas, hopefully it's a good location for you to quickly pop in and say hello and have a quick drink with us all. Most of the board members will be there tonight as well. I'll be doing a little bit of behind the scenes Instagramming as well. So do check that out if you're not on Insta. You can follow me on Advita P. as well. Any other questions, any burning questions? Oh yes, Cornelius, this is being archived. So you'll get access to this on YouTube, on Instagram, and on the LinkedIn as well. So it's automatically uploaded for you, so you can watch back as well. Oh, yes, I will share the top CPD loggers to you as well. Congratulations again for being number one as well, Anwar. I think that's an amazing achievement. Right, we are at time. What a whistle stop show that was. One more thing I want to say, because I've got quite a few international folks with us here today. And now Sukhjit has told me that card payments are now available for our international members, which is incredible. And well done to the team for getting this over the line, because I know it's something that's been requested for a long time. So if you're an international Chartered Institute of Public Relations member, card payments are now available. So if you've got any questions about that, then please do email the membership email address that was shared with you earlier. Again, if I didn't get through your answers or questions, please do email the president email address, president@cipr.co.uk, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But thank you so much for joining me for my very first live today. Feedback is always appreciated. So please tell me what more you want to see. Who do you want to see? We'll be interviewing more board members over the coming months as well. We'll be talking to chairs of various groups and committees. We'll be sharing updates on here as well. But if you have any specific questions or you want to talk about a specific topic, then please do let me know. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Take care.